Hey, another episode of Evolving Through Experience where we just
Mm,
discussing everything about growth in every aspect. More importantly, like from the mental, emotional, spiritual side of things,
for
even
sure.
physical, but more like I said, just the intangibles that people really need as far as growing. So first and foremost, Brandon, our relationship go back since I guess 2018. I was fresh
Yeah.
out of high school when I first met you. I knew about you before, obviously just from like Instagram and things like that. So I knew about you before, but I finally met you in like 2018.
Mm,
And before I even start, I definitely wanted to say, obviously I can't obviously tell as much as you do about yourself better than you, but I want to just go on record saying I appreciate you because from day one I met you, you always like held me down in a sense, like always looking at me like as like seeing my potential versus like downplaying. I know young kids coming out 18, 16, they can somewhat be like played off or pushed to the side if you telling them if they telling somebody what they want to do or what they want to be. It's like, okay, just do your thing. But it's like more you always just show genuine love. So I appreciate that.
nah, I appreciate that.
Uh
Well, you
pre-
almost made me cry. I'm getting older. I'm
we
all
yeah.
getting older. I'm getting emotional as I get older. Nah, I
Nah, I feel
appreciate
it.
that.
Nah,
I
for
would
sure.
say even for you, man, like we were talking before the cameras rolled. I mean, I was telling somebody earlier, like
Hmm.
when I met you like around 2017,
Yeah.
2018. So to see your evolution and you evolve, I salute you as well. So that's
Nah, for
dope, bro.
sure.
Yeah.
Appreciate it for sure. I want to start off like let's talk about the other stuff. I know obviously we know about all your brands, but we'll get into those before too. But let's just talk about like your childhood as far as like what made you who you are today, as far as what got you here.
Oh man,
Them
that's deep.
intangibles we
Yeah,
talking
that
about.
intangible. Now that's deep. So I'm
Yeah,
from Orlando, Florida. Shout out to home of Mickey Mouse. Shout out
where
407.
that's what making us from. Word.
Yeah. Come on,
My
Disney
fault, my
World in
fault.
Orlando. Tighten up, bro.
I
Tighten
got you. I
up.
got you.
Nah. So yeah, man. I think for me, man, I give my mom a lot of credit. You know, my mom and my dad as well.
Hmm.
I've got a good, solid family base. I've always
Hmm.
been blessed with that, right? So my dad played professionally basketball professionally.
Hmm.
Um, NBA, little short stints in the NBA,
Yeah.
but more so overseas.
Hmm.
And then my mom, just to kind of fast forward, but my mom was the first person I seen flip a house, and I ain't
Word.
even know it at the
Hmm.
time. I'm probably like in the 10th grade, 11th grade. She bought a house, fixed it up. We stayed in it,
Hmm.
sold it. And I remember she like, yeah, I made like 80,000 on
Hmm.
doing that. So, and at this time, I'm all
She said we
basketball.
made it or you made. She
No, she
made
say, she ain't say,
it.
oh, I'm cursing. I'm sorry. She ain't
Nah,
say
you good.
that.
You good.
She say nothing but we. She
Yeah,
said,
yeah, yeah. Word.
because around this
Yeah.
time, that was 10th, 11th grade. But I saw my mom work. She worked two jobs,
Hmm.
and I always say, just seeing that work ethic with her. She worked for Sprint, man, probably about 17 years,
Hmm.
and then she worked for the Orlando Magic.
Okay.
So I would see, man, I would go. My mom would go to work. I would see her in the morning, but then I wouldn't
Mm.
see my mom till like 9 p.m. at night. I hope I don't get her in trouble, but for saying this, but nah,
No, we.
child neglect.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, I think she installed that in me. Just seeing
Hmm.
her work two job, work ethic, um, being able. I was a lazy kid.
Hmm.
I would say I was kind of
I would
lazy.
have never thought that.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
was. Until I got a stepdad, a father in my life, and he would
Hmm.
tell my mom like, "Oh, you got to be tougher on him," because
Hmm.
I think as a mom, as a single parent, especially raising a boy, you want to baby him. It's like
Yeah.
this my baby, this my child.
Hmm.
So I think she kind of all. I told her once like you almost over babied me
Hmm.
at a point until I had a dope stepfather in my life. She's not with
Word.
him now, but I talk to him to this day,
Word.
and he was a
Respectfully.
mortgage broker.
Okay.
So these little signs,
Yeah.
where I got started in real estate later, not even thinking about it.
Yeah.
But he was a mortgage broker. My mom, like I said, flipped his house. So I was able to watch her example and
Hmm.
people around us to really like kind of help me later on in life for sure.
Makes sense, and I think that's what that's obviously a prime example of you just evolving through experience. But what does evolving through experience? If you just heard that, what does that mean? Obviously, you knew about the brand since 2018. But what does evolving through experience mean in your own words?
Yeah, no, that's great. Evolving through experiences, you grow through what you go through.
Mm-hmm.
So just being able to go through things, you learn the lessons in life, and then that kind of molds you into
Mm-hmm.
the person that we always evolving though.
Yeah,
But
facts.
it
Continuous
but it's
process.
yeah, but you evolve and you grow
Mm-hmm.
through the things that you go through in life in these different moments and these
Mm-hmm.
at these different times. So that's a great question. That's what it means to me.
Do you have an
Sure.
example of like obviously I'm sure obviously your whole life is examples of you just constantly growing even now and past, but what's one of those prime examples where you was like you sit back and just have like that epiphany and like and be like, dang, like I really overcame that and this is what made me learn from this situation now I'm here. Like so do you have an example of that?
Yeah, man, I got a lot of stories. I'm
I
old. I'm
I
37.
got
I
you. I
ain't
got you.
old. I'm
So you got 30.
older.
Yeah, yeah, older.
Yeah, we ain't
So
gonna, let
yeah.
me stop saying that. Words are powerful.
Nah, facts.
Yeah, man. Shoot, moving here. You know,
Mm-hmm.
moving. Uh, when I moved here, I was like 23,
Okay.
24,
Okay.
and
My age.
I
Okay.
moved to Atlanta with only I was working in the mall and I was
Mm-hmm.
coaching high school basketball. And one of my great friends, one of my college roommates, he called me. He was like, "Wig, you got to move to the A. This where it's
Mm-hmm.
at." So I'm 23 at the time. I'm coaching freshman and JV
Mm-hmm.
basketball. And I thought to myself, I always say I ain't the smartest person, but I pull the trigger faster than
Mm-hmm.
anybody.
The dot connector. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, the dot
and
connector.
also when I say pull the trigger faster, like meaning I don't take long to have a thought. I'ma just
Mm-hmm.
do it. Like if it makes
Facts.
sense to me, I do it. So
Figure the rest
doing
out.
that, I had a girlfriend at the time, but still my friend to this day.
Mm-hmm.
I said, "Hey, I'm leaving. I'm going to Atlanta," and I salute her because she said, "All right, we'll pack up your car and I'll ride with you."
Mm-hmm.
And she rode with me.
I
I
love.
never forget it. And she we was listening to J. Cole Friday Night Lights the whole time.
Mm.
I don't know if you remember
Now I
that.
know about.
Okay,
I'm an old
cool.
head.
All
Like a
right,
lot of people
cool.
here. Yeah, I know her Cole.
Yeah, yeah. So
Who
we
that was
packed
like
up
the
the
first
whip. I
song.
ain't had too much stuff. I had $700 to my name. Packed
Mm-hmm.
up the whip. My homeboy told me to move to the A. I said, bet. I had $700. I told her, and what salute her for, she ain't try to hold me back. Like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
what we gonna do? And
Yeah.
whoop the whoop. She was like, all right, cool. And we rode down. I slept on my homeboy couch for 7 months till I got a
Mm.
job. And I was cutting people grass. I'm painting houses.
Yeah.
I was working with my uncle at a funeral home, just
Mm-hmm.
figuring it out. Then I got a job at Target for a year, making good money. But then I quit that
Mm-hmm.
for 1 year, and then I started my entrepreneur journey.
Journey.
So
Yeah.
that was like I said, 24, 25. I haven't worked a job since. So but during that time, it was when, I was evolving. You
Mm-hmm.
know, that's my first time reading a book
Mm-hmm.
outside of college and
Yeah.
school on my
Word.
own. I read Rich Dad Poor Dad.
Word. I think we
Then
all
I
read that. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
It's a
then I
legendary
read
book.
Think
Yeah.
and Grow Rich. So this is when I started evolving into becoming a reader,
Mm-hmm.
because prior to that I wasn't thinking about reading. So those were a time where it's like, all right, I'm always remember that. And I still go through stuff now. Shoot, I'm
Mm-hmm.
going through something right now.
Yeah. Facts.
You
I can
know,
tell you some
so
stories even like from this week. So it's like it's
yeah,
a
so
continuous
but that was
process.
my first, like, all right, risk in life,
Mm-hmm.
and something that, that I always carry with me.
Okay, and I want to talk about being a father because
Yeah.
I'm a young father. So
For real?
yeah we ain't speaking in a
When?
minute. Yeah, my son like one. He
Golly, I ain't
over
know
one. He
that.
going two. Yeah,
That's
man.
what's
So yeah,
up.
so just from your experience, I want to get like those intangibles, like being a father, because obviously a young father first and foremost. Because when did you have
Yeah.
your daughter?
I was 28. So
28.
I think
Okay,
I
so I
always
had
say I
mine
had my
22.
daughter at
Yeah.
the perfect time.
Okay, I'm glad you said that because I just feel like, I mean, I feel like you can elaborate because I know we always hear like, oh, you got to have a kid at a young age or you don't want to have it too young. But I feel like I had him. It's like it was obviously meant to be, and it's
Yeah.
like no matter when I would have had him, it would have been a learning curve regardless.
Yeah,
So what can
yeah.
you give me, or just if you young fathers in general?
Yeah, yeah. Nah, man, that's a great question. And I smile every time I think about my daughter. That's my
Yeah,
dog.
yeah,
Like, that's
facts.
my friend. I don't like the baby stage.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
that
yeah.
one stage.
Man, I'm going through it.
Yeah.
That's why I need advice on, man.
Yeah,
Cause
that's all I
woo.
want. They're like, I don't like the baby
Yeah.
stage. But now she's 8, and it's like that's my friend. She can
Mm-hmm.
cook her own stuff. We
Word.
got a handshake. She can be
Word.
my photographer, like all that. But the advice, man, I would say, I give her mom all the credit. Like we
Mm.
got to. That's my friend too. We got.
Yeah.
I always tell her we need to write a co-parenting book.
That was my next question. Go ahead though.
Yeah. So me and her, like, that's my friend. She support me through this whole journey. When I started being an entrepreneur, she used to buy me groceries.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was living in an apartment, a 600 square foot apartment in Stone Mountain. I ain't had no furniture.
Yeah.
She would still come mess with me.
Nah,
Like I've been
respect.
blessed with
Shout out
great
to her.
women
Yeah.
in my
Yeah.
life, like for real, for real. But anyways, as a parent, man, I would say that early stage now, this gonna sound simple, but I think this will help me with my daughter. Like read to them.
Okay.
That sounds so like
No, it don't.
simple.
It don't. It
I
don't.
would say read to them because I see where doing that early on,
Mhm.
like now my daughter, she's in a charter school. She take Chinese. She in a chess
Mm.
club. Not saying every kid got to do stuff
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that, but I see where that early stage of reading really helped her. And then as a black man, as a father, just be there time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, even if you're not with the mother of your child,
Yeah.
you just got to be there and make time. And even now, as an entrepreneur, I'm not there as much as I want. But one
Yeah.
of my OGs told me, like, just make memories with your
Yeah.
child when you can. Like, sometimes you know, I'd rather sacrifice these early years to
Yeah.
when she in high school. Now I'm at everything. So I would say just make the time and make memories.
No,
Like,
I'm
while
glad
you're
you said that because that goes into, and this could be a whole another episode just on
Yeah.
co-parenting alone. But that was my thing. Like, what can you give? 'Cause I didn't know if you was co-parenting or not.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
you posted it before, and like you said, you
I
have a
post
great
her all the
relationship.
time.
Yeah, yeah, okay. So yeah, so I'm
people
glad.
don't get it.
Yeah,
People
mhm.
people got a warped thing in your mind, like,
Mhm.
oh, if you cool with your baby mama,
Yeah.
y'all still having sex. Or
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
no,
Yeah, yeah.
don't even
yeah.
like her like that.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like, for real,
She about to
like,
get that text.
yeah,
nah, I know. But
she
I
knows
think
she
that's
don't
good.
like me.
Yeah, yeah.
She
But y'all
think
make
I'm
it work.
ugly.
Yeah,
but,
yeah. Nah, but that's good though, because
Yeah.
y'all make it work, and like you said, you can have that communication where it's a balance, and like y'all look out for each
Yeah.
other, and I think that's so important because even when you saying your prior girlfriend, like she supported you through what you wanted to do, regardless she agree with it or not. It was
Yeah.
that support there, and I think that would still go along with co-parenting. Y'all just supporting each other, helping each other out. So I'm glad you really mentioned that because like I don't take it simple because it's like, you know how we hear things before at a younger age where it's like, all right, somebody said something. It's not that we don't care, but it's like we can't relate to it. But when you go through it, it's like, dang, they did warn me about this, and it's like now I really see it full circle for a
No,
moment.
facts.
You gotta like, so with that also being said, I'm just like, yeah, man, it's like as far as the co-parenting, it's just like in life in general, it's just like, hey, I wish I would have knew some of these things prior
So
to
you
having a kid.
co-parenting right now?
Yeah, I'm co-parenting,
Okay.
so that's why I was asking you, and it's like it's
I
certain
think-
things I wish I knew.
Yeah, man. I think it's just communication.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I think what helped us, we were friends first.
Mm-hmm.
Like she was my friend.
Yeah.
And I think people skip that in
Mhm.
relationships. Like, I think lust clouds,
Mhm.
especially men, a lot of time lust clouds our
Yeah.
thoughts, and you just having sex with women,
Yeah.
then boom, you got a child,
Yeah.
and you don't even really like her like that.
Yeah.
But my daughter's mom, that was my dog.
Yeah.
Like, we would, like, whatever. Like, that was my friend that we just so happened to be having sex.
Yeah.
And she got a baby.
Yeah.
So I think
it wasn't
that,
planned, it just happened. It just
no, it
okay.
ain't planned, it just
Yeah.
happened. And she's mature. Like,
Mhm.
she's older than me, one.
Okay.
So she's more mature, and she level headed. She's dope. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I got somebody in my life now. She dope.
Yeah.
You know, and I've been blessed with.
Shout out to all of them.
Yeah, shout out to everybody.
Yeah,
like, for
facts,
real. Like,
facts.
I've been blessed with great mentors.
Mhm.
I always tell people OGs,
Mhm.
as you know, and great women in my life. I don't have no bad women stories or
Yeah.
women trying to
thankfully, yeah.
use me or
Yeah.
they just want money. It's like, no,
Facts.
every woman that's been in my life, they've helped me in my
Yeah.
journey. So I want to salute the black women for sure.
For sure. I stand
Like
with you on that.
that's every part of my life. When I'm up, down, in the
Mhm.
middle, it's just like, I got you with, because I think I got to go back to the parent
Yeah,
part.
go ahead.
My mom and my dad, they raised me pretty solid to where I'm genuine. That's why I'm
Mhm.
able to have these OGs. I'm able to
Correct.
have these women because, you know, I may be difficult to deal with sometimes. I'll be on my little yay shit sometimes, but
Hey, I support the yay movement.
but at the same
some degree,
time,
let's
people
be
know I'm
clear.
genuine.
Yeah.
I give anybody anything. So
Mhm.
I think anybody that I've dealt with or partnered with in business, whatever, it's like, I got you, bro.
Nah, for sure, and I'm glad you said that because, like I
Yeah.
said, even from the beginning, like you showed me love, and not necessarily like in a actually giving me anything, but like having conversations with me and like really seeing where my mind was at, even though if that's not what we supposed to be doing, like you just seeing where my mind was at.
Nah,
and I
always
peeped that.
liked you, bro, because even if I ain't had a time or you call me, I be doing stuff. I
Mhm.
always make sure I got to hit you back. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Whatever it is. And I always salute you for not taking nothing personal. Because
Nah,
it may
for
be
sure.
a day I might hit you back.
Yeah,
Shoot,
yeah, yeah, for
my
sure.
mama tell me like, dang, you can't
Yeah.
call me back.
Yeah.
So I always tell people, I'm going to hit you back. I
Nah,
just be
for
doing
sure.
stuff. So salute to you, bro.
Nah, I
for sure.
appreciate it. Let's talk about them, like them spiritual. Now I ain't gonna say, we don't really gotta say warfares, but them spiritual battles that you may have dealt with, or even mental battles. Cause I think they go hand in hand. Like, can
Yeah.
you give me an example of or a time when you did that and like how you overcame it? Another one.
Yeah, I think my battles was women.
Mm-hmm.
I say I have dope women,
Yeah.
but my grandfather, he passed for liver, so he was an alcoholic.
Condolences. Yeah, condolences.
I ain't know him. It's all good.
Yeah. I mean, still,
Nah, I
condolences.
feel you. I
Still,
done messing with you.
Nah, cause same thing with mine though. That's crazy because
Yeah.
he died from liver.
And
failure.
my dad was after, he played professionally in the 60s, 70s. So, they snoring powder and
Yeah,
then
yeah.
that takes. So he was on drugs like a lot of my life. And I think what he passed to me, I was addicted to women. I saw
Yeah.
porn at 7.
Yeah.
Like with him. And then I started to like when I saw women, you were an object to me now.
Yeah.
It's like my daughter 8. I can't even imagine her seeing porn
Yeah.
at 8. So I saw
That
it at 7.
Yeah.
So now when I'm seeing women, it's like, oh, this what I'm on. Like,
Yeah.
So I think I was addicted to women for a lot of my life.
Yeah.
So I remember
That's
it would
a
be
big
times
transition.
it'd be times I would have sex with women, and then I'd be like, why did I do that?
Yeah.
And now as I got older and I went to therapy, and I grew up, I'm the only child, and I grew up with my mom mostly. I got 7 aunties.
Okay.
So I'm used to women giving me attention. Oh, Brandon, you so cute. They hugging me. They touching me. So if a woman not doing that, I can go to another woman and she can do that. Or I feel like I was missing something. So to be fully transparent, bro, and fully like vulnerable, that was what I was fighting. I was fighting women. I was fighting that demon of that spirit.
Yeah.
Until I really had to go in solitude and go to therapy and realize, bro, that shit ain't cool no more. Like,
facts.
you know what I mean? Like, so once I killed that demon, I felt that spirit. I just feel so much better. It's like I don't need that.
And then also, what age do you feel like you did that at?
37 now. I probably was like them JMA days.
Okay.
After leaving JMA.
Okay.
So I would say like 2019.
Okay, cool.
2018, 2019.
I definitely commend you for that.
Yeah, because and I remember one time my mom told me, she asked me like, Brandon, when you gonna stop lying to women all the time? And I thought about it. I'm like, damn, I do be lying. For real.
It's so normal, right?
Yeah,
so it's
she told me that. And then I remember my first time I told a woman the truth. I was around that time, probably 30.
Yeah.
And I was talking to a girl. I said, yeah, I like you. But I like somebody else, and I ain't about to stop talking to her.
Yeah.
And the girl told me, oh, that's cool. I was like, oh, shit,
they respect
the
it.
truth worked.
Yeah, yeah.
So now I don't lie no more. Now you
yeah.
finna get whatever I feel.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
And this is how we rock it. So that's something I had to overcome for sure. And I know it's a lot of men downfall.
Yeah, for sure.
Me and my mom, I talk about my mom a lot, but as my best friend, I told my mom, like, man, God really spared me because I only got one child. I ain't never been caught no STD or nothing, but I done did some wild stuff.
Yeah, word.
And that was my demon. That was my, thing I had. If my dad was a drug addict, I took that on.
Yeah.
And now to overcome it to where don't nothing move me like that. Like I'm around beautiful women every day, but it don't matter to me.
No, I'm glad I could have this conversation with you because now we could see this other side. Like I said, we always could talk about entrepreneurship, sports, which is all good, but like we got to talk about some real substance that's really gonna push people forward. And I appreciate it because like I know even from our conversation outside of this, like I definitely gained something from it. But it's like also for me gaining something from it, it's like now the world can gain something from it from the platform because that's what it's about. Just showing like being vulnerable, being transparent about those moments and like taking accountability. That's like a biggest thing for me.
Yeah.
And I think that's also why I have my son because it's like I was heavy on accountability now and then even more. Like even for stuff that's not my fault, I still take accountability for it.
Where's mom located?
She out here too.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool,
we
cool.
co-parent. Like and shout out to her. I definitely want to go on record. Like,
we got to shout out your baby
for
mama.
Sure.
I would
for
say
sure.
that's
even with that, I know I call it. I say mother of my child.
Oh yeah, my
like,
bad.
Yeah, no, you straight because I wanted to ask you about that too. Like how you, I guess you don't care. I think a lot of people got that narrative, baby mama, they hate that, but it's like. I don't mind being called baby daddy, but it's just like, I know I'm a father, so it's like, but when I hear it from other perspectives, it's like, I know a lot of women don't like that.
That's a great question.
Hey, so cool.
She don't care. She called me baby daddy all the time.
Yeah, the respect is there. That's what matters. So yeah, I wanted to ask you about that. So now being like you said, she don't care about being called baby mama or whatnot.
No.
So what's your thoughts on that? Obviously, y'all don't care, but like, what was your you ever had thoughts on like how you feel about that?
For being called baby daddy?
Yeah. You never really care.
I think it's funny.
You
I call her baby mama.
Okay.
Because I always told her, like, shoot, you my baby mama.
Yeah.
You know? Like I say, she my friend.
Yeah. Friends first.
Like, that's my friend. If I'm something wrong with me in life, I call her, like, to this day. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's whatever. Like, I'm in a whole relationship, but I still talk to my baby mama.
Nah, facts.
You know what I mean? Because, like, that's my friend.
Yeah, and
you know what I mean?
And I'm glad you said that because I think as far as even with that, like the new person you're in a relationship with, I think the fact that they're comfortable knowing that, I think that's really
She
healthy.
ain't got no choice.
Yeah, okay.
Can't nobody tell me what to do.
Nah, facts, that part.
But I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I just had to get in my.
See, he just got
whoever I'm
we got to
with,
heal because that seemed like you came off like
heal.
mad. Yeah. You
Yeah,
like,
well,
yeah,
no.
she ain't gonna tell me what to do.
Yes,
like,
we got to. I'm healed. I'm healing, but at the same time,
healing facts.
of course, we got
yeah,
there's certain things, but then there's certain things I stand on too, and
facts.
ain't nobody
As a
gonna
man,
ever
for
tell
sure.
me, oh, you can't talk to your
Yeah.
no. I'm
Nah,
always
for
do
sure.
that. Like that's what I stand on. That's a value because she had my daughter.
Mm-hmm.
She was there for me when I ain't had nothing.
At
And
the
as my
highest
dog,
level.
for real, she saw me in the beginning of my
Yeah.
journey. So I don't care. Nobody ever tell me
No,
that.
facts. I agree definitely with the not telling you what to do, but finding somebody that's okay and cool with it and
Yeah.
support it and not judging you for it. Because like you said, that stigma and that
for sure.
stereotype of, oh, if you with them, you still killing, or you still with them or whatever, and you really like in between. So the fact that you got somebody that understands that and respects that on both sides, I think that's really vital. And like,
For sure.
was that always like that, or did it have to get to a process where people you started dealing with after her, where it was like, all right, they a little iffy or they feel a way about it?
I've never had nobody have
no. Oh, never. Okay.
Because I'll tell people in the beginning, like, hey, this.
Tell them what it is and what it's not.
Yeah.
Okay. Nah, for sure.
Yeah, I've never had nobody like, dang, why you talk to your baby? No, it's just always been pretty a smooth transition, I would say, for sure.
Nah, I'm glad to hear that. So going back to being a parent and having a daughter, so obviously I know as much as I know I'm learning from being a parent and even listening to other parents like yourself and just gaining different insight. And like I said, listen to those things that may seem so simple, but they can make a world of difference, like for your kid and for you. What can you say your daughter has taught you as much as you taught her?
That's a great question. What has my daughter taught me as much as I taught her? Man, probably patience. You know what I'm saying? I would say that if I had, that's the first thing that came to mind. And even, you know what my daughter told me one time, and it shocked me. It's probably because I taught her, but at the same time, I was I'm in my Kanye bag. Ego, right?
Yeah, nah, it's all good.
You gotta have a little ego.
Yeah.
We was in the car and I was stressing about something. I'm like, dang, I was just complaining.
Yeah.
And she said, don't worry about it. It's all in your mind.
Mm.
And I was like, dang, she was like 6 at this time, 6 or 7. So I guess she taught me.
Cry. My son said that.
Yeah, man, I cry all the time now.
Yeah, word. We can talk about that too.
Yeah, I was listening to Order My Steps by the gospel song. I bust out crying this morning. But she told me that, and I was like, dang, I guess the lesson in that is practice what I preach. You know what I mean? So if I'm telling her that, some of these things you get anxious about is in the mind. What they say, a wise man say, you think too far in the future, you become anxious. You look in the past, you're depressed.
Yeah.
So be present. So I think for me to tell her that, and then I didn't practice what I preached. And she told, you know what I mean? So I'm thinking like I learned that from her.
No, that's what's up. Shout out to her because
shout out to Callie.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And even with that being said, it's like you said, practicing what you preach. Do you feel like you a hypocrite or been a hypocrite?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm glad you said that because I feel like evolving through experience, I've been a hypocrite on certain things. Like even now before we were starting and we were just talking about like being vegan or whatnot. Because obviously I've seen people in my family that's been vegan before. It's like, all right, they're like, yo, you got to change how you living or like what you expect to come from. And it's just like, but then I come vegan or start that transition and I could be quickly to judge. Although it's not coming off in a mean way, I'm not trying to. But like you said, being a hypocrite. So like, what's the time you've been a hypocrite and it's like you evolved from that or realized it later on?
Time I've been a hypocrite.
I think we all hypocrites.
Yes, it's probably so many
times. But that's part of growing though.
Yeah, because it's things. Oh man, I remember one time in college, we were going to church heavy, right? One of my friends, shout out to Camille, man. She was once again another great black woman. She was my homegirl, and she would have Bible study. And me and my homeboy Ryan, we went probably like a month straight. So we call ourselves born again Christians. Yeah. And now all my homeboys like, bro, y'all tripping, bro, and y'all need to come to church with us. So I feel like, I think a lot of times we're excited about the change that we have, that we try to automatically change somebody else's perspective and, put them into that world. So I think that's a form of being a hypocrite as well, because nobody forced me. People allowed me to evolve
exactly on your time
and to kind of curate my journey. So I think that was a time that comes to mind. But I've probably been a hypocrite so many times.
Bro. You could probably count. Nah, same for sure.
But that's the beauty of life to me, man. Like the beauty of life is being able to like change of perspective and being able to change and grow and like all of these things. Even as we talk about being a parent, like having a perspective of, you know, before you was a parent, like, oh, this is how I'm gonna raise my child.
Yeah.
Then the child coming, you doing something totally different.
Yeah, facts. That
you know,
part.
I've never even like spanked my daughter or nothing.
Facts.
You know what I mean? Like,
that's one thing I stuck to. I never hit
yeah. And she 8 now, and she make me mad sometimes. But I think you know what, this is kind of off topic. Well, no, it ain't. But I think our generation, you know, we parenting pretty smooth, man. I think I like the parenting because we're more cerebral with it. You know, it's more emotional intelligence. It's more, you know, understanding the child perspective. It's more communicating going on.
You feel like that's because you wish you got that to some degree too? Because I feel like that's one of the reasons like I say I'm not gonna do certain things. Although some of those things I didn't stick to. I actually seen a post the other day. It was like, before a kid, I swore my kid won't never. Then it said, now I got a kid. All right, just lick the rock. Just shut the F up. Because they be bothering. But it's like, it's funny because it's like you say you won't do something, but then you got a kid and it's like you wind up doing it.
Man, let me tell you what my daughter mom told me once. She said I got daddy privilege. Meaning, because as a man, when you're not in the house all the time with the child, you got them, you know, whenever you have them, you don't experience everything that they're going through.
Agree.
So when she told me that first, I got defensive. What you mean? I get my daughter every time. I give you this amount of money. I do that. But then I had to really sit back and get out my ego, look at it as an altitude. And she was like, bro, I got to dictate around your schedule. Like, oh, can you get Callie now? Oh, man, I'm on tour, corner class tour. I can't get her. Oh, can you watch Callie while I'm here? Or she got to ask me all these questions. Or I can move freely. I can date freely because I don't have a child at home. I can go out at night, stay at somebody's house, come home. And she told me I had daddy privilege. And that really changed my perspective of, you know, getting my daughter and really of her. That's why I always tell her, I don't care if you get married, I get married, whatever, I'm going to take care of forever.
For sure.
Because she just taught me so much, man. Her and my daughter. So I would say I know you asked the question earlier, check your daddy privilege. Like, make yourself uncomfortable. Because the mother always uncomfortable.
Yeah, for sure.
Every day.
Nah, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? Because they got the child every day.
Yeah.
And you might have them 3 days, 4, maybe, you know, however you got it. But they got them every day. So they waking up with the child. They got to bathe them. You know, they spending the money, like even little small stuff.
Yeah, add up. Yeah,
they got to deal with the attitude every day. And you got your child maybe on the weekend, 3 days, or however it goes. So
yeah, and thankfully, like with our relationship, I could definitely say it's only gotten better. Not saying it was bad at some point, but I see, like you said, you just said that and made me think, like, okay. And that's the thing with being an entrepreneur. It's like, yeah, I'm busy, I'm running it. Like, thankfully now he's in daycare, so it's like, all right, obviously I'll handle daycare, no problem. Whatever you need, just let me know. But even like you said, those times before, it's like, all right, you got him for the most of the time. It's not like I'm just BSing out here. I'm working or whatever. So how did you like navigate that between entrepreneurship and then raising a kid? Like
in the beginning, what you said, a son, right?
Yeah, a son. Yeah.
When I had my daughter, when I was early wholesaling, I would bring her with me. Like you know, what's a little pouch thing?
Yeah. You used to go to sleep in that. Now, I can't do nothing.
Yeah, when I was wholesaling, I would bring my daughter with me. I got a video that I see, and when she was like a baby, I would bring her with me. And then the great thing about it though, I watched before daycare. We didn't take my daughter to daycare until like 9 months, and my daughter's mom went back to work. She worked for Family Feud, so she didn't really have too much time off. She does production.
Where shout out to Tabidi and him. Yeah,
man. So I had my daughter the first like 8-9 months. That's the most I had her in that early age. That's why I tell you I don't like that.
Yeah.
But
makes sense.
So I was taking her everywhere with me. And even now, as she's older, as she's 8, I take her everywhere with me. I would have had her in here.
Probably easier now.
Yes, like I said, that's my friend now.
Yeah, she would have been more than welcome.
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
Like,
she in gymnastics, but I would have had her coming in, being my videographer. She take my pictures. So if I podcast or if I do speaking engagements, I bring my daughter with me now because she like the camera. Because her mom does camera work too, and I see where kids gonna follow what you do.
Yeah,
you know. So
nah, I appreciate you saying that because that's something I want to do. Obviously, I know certain things he can't be because he's so young. But like when he get like, I'm feeling like once he get like 4 or 5, he's able to walk
that's
and
the
talk.
best stage right there, bro.
I feel like then I could bring him more with me, not to make an excuse, but it's just like I know right now. Everywhere I be going, he don't need to be there. Not saying it's an unsafe environment, but it's like it's a lot of moving pieces. I'd rather you.
But
just
you mature at 23. Yeah. At 23, I was wild.
Yeah.
Like, man, please. I wasn't even on what you was on.
Yeah.
And I always tell that about Ja'Cory too. You know, remember Ja'Cory?
I can't remember.
JMA days with the dreads.
I think so. Yeah. Oh, he was about my age too? Yeah. Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Yeah. I was in another office. That's why.
True. And I always say that, man. I think y'all generation got it good. Like, for sure. Y'all had YouTube, Google. And then you got great examples. But you super mature for 23, 24. Like,
I appreciate it.
I was still wild. I was doing stupid stuff.
I think what helped me
to a certain extent.
Yeah, I think what helped me is like I said, that accountability and knowing I about to have a kid. Because when it's crazy how it happened. I ain't gonna go into too much detail in this episode, but it's like when found out she was pregnant. It was like this was like when we was just like calling it quits on everything. So it's like then I get the call like, wait, you what? Like that's what I said. I had a migraine the whole day, and then like immediately I flew to New York. I'm like, wait, what? You're what? Like you sure the doctor is right? And I was just going through it, and it's like I'm just like I ain't have nobody to talk to either. I couldn't bring it to my mom. Like she probably killed me or whatever. Yeah. But I'm like at this point I'm trying to figure out who to speak to and find an outlet. So I just I wound up making an excuse like I got to go to New York, do something with my dad. No questions after that. So and then the whole time I'm on the plane, I'm having a migraine. And this is also it's funny, just sidebars. Like this is when I met somebody during that time. And it's like, you know how we speak people and these sometimes feel like they BSing on what they do.
Yeah.
It's just like, bruh, I have a whole migraine, so I'm saying whatever, and it's like, bruh, but my mind is somewhere totally else. And I want to get in contact, but we ain't never do nothing because I think they probably thought I was BSing on other stuff. But bro, I was going through it. So just with that being said, it was like I said, accountability was for me. It's just like I gotta step up, and it's like I gotta change on how I'm moving stuff. Although like when I was doing the transition, we was calling it quits. I was like, boom, wholesale deal's good. I'm gonna start traveling more, do what I want to do, like with no restrictions. Finally pregnant, okay. I had to have that solitude moment with myself, and it's like, bro, like, all right, what are you gonna do? And it was so many different emotions going through my head. And like I said, other thing for me is I like to take accountability to the fullest extent, and I think sometimes it could be unhealthy because it's like some things won't be my fault, but I'll still take accountability. So in this time, it's like I'm thinking about all these other aspects of some people that can't have kids. It's like that want to have kids but can't. This is like, all right, I did this. I'm gonna step up to the plate regardless of what that means.
Facts.
And it's just like I didn't know everything it entailed at the time. Although I understand it a lot more now because I'm really experiencing it, but it was just like, no, I'm gonna step up to the plate. It's like it's no other excuses for me but to do this and go through with it. But like I said, even having that discussion, like, all right, which route I'm gonna go, it was just like, hey, accountability. I did it. I could live with it, and that's the thing. Like I said, I didn't want to speak to too many people. Yeah. Although at the same time, I wanted to speak to somebody and like help me navigate through this. But it's like I didn't want to blame nobody else if I decided this route or this route. I didn't want to look 5 years, 10 years like, yo, I listened to my brother and he said don't do it, or he said do it. It's like I did it because I did it, and now if I feel a way about it to the future, at least I can only hold myself accountable.
Nah, that's real.
That's how I thought about it.
Nah, that's real, bro. That's mature.
Nah, for sure. So with you, did you ever? Was you hesitant on the fence? Like I think that's a real talk. Like I think like you just trying to decide which route you're gonna go. Was that ever an issue with you, or issue?
No, I was cool. Like I say, I had my daughter at 28, so at this time I was moving and shaking. I was financially stable.
Yeah.
Like I said, me and her was always cool. So when she told me, it was like, all right, let's rock.
Let's just figure it out.
Yeah.
Nah, that's good. I'm glad you said it. Like I said, I definitely appreciate you because these are like the important conversations that I really value more than other conversations in a sense, because it's like this is stuff I'm really living. Like, so trying to navigate it every day, and like you said, them private moments with yourself, and it's like you battling other stuff and trying to figure out entrepreneurship and then trying to make sure your kid's straight or whatnot. It's just like it could be a lot.
For sure.
Yeah, it could definitely be a lot. Did your daughter ever go to daycare?
Yeah, she went to daycare. Shoot, like I said, I had her the first 8 months. She went from like 9 months. And she was at that same daycare from then until pre-K. So yeah, she was there a long time.
Okay,
they pretty much raised her.
Okay,
you know what I mean? That was a great daycare / pre-K. Right up the street. You know, we've been in Gwinnett this whole time. So yeah, they pretty much raised her, knew the owners of it. So yeah, it was a great experience.
We got to figure out life for ourselves and through our experiences, and not letting society put their beliefs on us.
I put them up to the test. Like, this is my
Yeah.
first time. The reason I asked you is just when your daughter went to daycare, because like, how was that transition and putting her in daycare? Because it was hard for me, because like he's always been home with us or with me. It's like he don't go nowhere else. So now it's like I gotta put you here and leave you.
Nah,
And not that I want to, but it's like I gotta work and you need around kids.
Yeah, nah, it was easy for me. Like I said, I had her for
go.
so long.
Yeah.
Like, go and get in there. And it was dope. Like I say, the people they beautiful. Still know the people to this day.
Yeah.
It was just a great situation. And then, like I say, they saw her from 1 until what's pre-K 6 or something, 7. I don't even know.
Get I stopped counting once he turned 1. It's just 1, 2. They talking about 18 months, 20.
So they had her for that long, and it was a real genuine family setting. So nah, I was comfortable. Never had any situations.
Okay, no, I'm glad to hear that. What's one thing you could say like you manifested, or manifesting now that's about to come in fruition? Come to light or whatever.
One thing I manifest is where I'm at now, being a sports marketing agent. You know what I mean? Like, I thought about it.
OT, right?
Nah. Our players work out at OT.
Oh, okay.
My sports marketing agency is called the 6 Rings Firm. But I thought about it. I saw someone on IG talk about it. I reached out to an agent I knew from college, that I really didn't know, but I saw him in college. And now here I am now. I represent 3 NBA players. We got probably like 9 college athletes. I got 2 in the Final Four right now for the University of Miami. So I manifested that. I saw the vision, and here I am now. So that was something that, and I'm just starting.
Yeah,
for the most part, I've been doing it 12 months, and I've already, about 13, 14 months. But I'm already, like I said, I got NBA clients that we're doing deals with. This week alone, did a deal with Raising Cane's, TurboTax.
I don't eat chicken no more, but I heard about that.
Did a deal with Powerade. That's our first national ad.
Nah, congrats
Powerade,
for sure.
Doing something with Goat Fuel. We just shot yesterday. So that's Jerry Rice.
I remember Goat Fuel.
Yeah, man. So I manifested it. I thought it, and we here. We're rocking and rolling now.
Nah, for sure. The reason I said that because I think a manifestation is so real, but obviously with action as well.
Yeah, you got to take the
It's a lot of things that I wrote down or manifested and continue to manifest, but put action behind it, and then it come into light. So obviously I knew that's something you did, so I just wanted to just put that on camera so people know, like, you manifest, you put the work behind it, it's gonna come. And like you said, did it come sooner than you expected, or it came like early or later or right timing?
I ain't really expect nothing, bro.
I think put it out there.
I don't put a time on nothing, man. Like, I just let things come to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you say, put the work out, think it, write it down. I got a vision board in my phone. And then just
put it in pieces.
Take it step by step, ease on down the road, as they say in the Oz, right? Wizard of Oz. And it just kind of started happening. I do think things happen faster than I thought. But I still got a long way.
Yeah.
But I'm still being present in the moment and grateful for everything that's, that I'm experiencing at the moment.
No, I'm glad to hear that. Before we go, I want to double back on the men crying, because I know, like I said, the stereotypes is what I'm trying to change, and we're going to control the narrative from now on. Like, no more relying on other people to tell the right narrative, or after they put out the wrong narrative and we trying to go change it. So as far as like men crying, like, I think that's vital, and I think it's important. I ain't saying I don't see nothing wrong with it. I think we've been told so long, like, black men can't cry or general it's a sign of weakness, but I disagree. So let's just talk about that. Like, when did you transition at your age? Because I realized that at a younger age. So at obviously from your standpoint, it's a little different.
Yeah, at your age, I wasn't crying at all. I think when I started having a daughter, experiencing more things in life, and this becoming self-awareness, I think that's when it's like, it's okay. I got a great group of friends that I went to college with. These are my homies.
Yeah.
And these are guys that I'm able to lean on, that we're all vulnerable together. We're all pretty much on same path, different journeys for the most part. And I can, for lack of a better term, these guys I can got a shoulder to lean on. So I don't mind crying at all. It takes depending on what it is. Like I said, I cried this morning.
Yeah, facts.
I cried this morning. I was listening to Order My Steps, and I started crying from that. Prior to that, I don't know when the last time I cried, but I'll cry in front of my homies, and that's a great feeling to have. That you got people that
respect you and let you,
to be vulnerable with, especially as a man, and being, we almost 40 now. Because when we was raised, it's like, oh, man, you can't have no feelings and emotion. I think it's a balance to it. But I definitely not afraid.
For
I think
sure.
It's too much to cry.
I'm glad you said that. I appreciate it. We gotta go on record letting people know this. And obviously, we got 1 billion subscribers. I'm manifesting right now. You gotta let it put it out there to the world. You feel me?
As you should.
Where can everybody follow you at though? And obviously all your platforms or whatever.
So we got to bring Split Your Wig back one day.
I feel you. Trust me.
So you can find me on my personal IG is Brandon J Wigley. Wigley is spelled with 1 G, Wigley. Y'all can put it on the bottom.
Yeah, I'm gonna put it on the bottom. I got you.
And my company is 6 Rings Firm. So just like when you think of 6 rings, you think of the Olympics. Maybe you think of Michael Jordan and the Bulls. You think of a standard of excellence. So that is our dynamic agency, our sports marketing agency, working with these athletes. So that's where you catch me at. And every platform, I'm Brandon J Wigley.
Yeah,
LinkedIn, Facebook, IG, Twitter. And 6 Rings Firm is the company.
Bet. So I'll definitely make sure I add all that at the bottom.
Yeah, man.
So if y'all gain anything from this episode, definitely share a friend, tell a friend. And at the end of the day, actually put the actions behind it. Don't just gain something and a week go by, you haven't implemented anything differently. And even before I close it out, I just want to say, you coming vegan? We switching over to the vegan side with me?
I ain't doing that shit.
No, yeah.
I did it for 2 months when I was at JMA.
How did you feel?
It was cool. It wasn't hard. At that time I was buying the meals, so it helped me.
Oh, okay. It's a
meals.
restaurant I gotta put you on, so I ain't gonna say it on camera because they ain't giving no bag. So.
I ain't mad at it. Maybe one day. Right now, I'm about to probably go get a hamburger as soon as I leave.
All right, say less. Well, if y'all gain something, like I said, definitely share the episode. Evolving Through Experience. You can follow us on all those platforms: IG, Twitter, Facebook, Evolving Through Experience. And even check out our website, evolvingthroughexperience.com. Y'all obviously know you can shop the brand there. One thing I did with this is under Evolving Through Experience, we got Project Prevail. So at the end of the day, we don't want to be the brand that just people just shop and support from that end, but we also want to give back. So I started Project Prevail, obviously, soon after I started Evolving Through Experience, because I see other platforms where they'll get an influx of donations. Obviously, this is not donations, it's you getting something in return, but they'll get influx in donations and they'll only give 10% of what they got back and pocket the other 90. So with us, we want to make sure we don't just make excuses and let that slide. We'll just do it ourselves. So you shopping, you also giving back at the same time, and then we're gonna keep you posted on what we gave back. So obviously with 2020, like I created new shirts, and I gave 100% of the profits away to Tamika Mallory Until Freedom thing, because it's like I don't want to just talk about it. I really want to be about it, and that's the biggest thing. So it's like, don't give me the money. The 100% of the profits went, and every time money came in, I was showing, look, I showed my card, obviously without the numbers, like, look, we giving the money right away. No excuses, no waiting. We'll figure out the rest on the back end with taxes, but. So Evolving Through Experience, make sure y'all follow us, check out the brand, shop the brand. And like I said, if you gain something from this episode, catch us on the next one. Peace. That's a wrap.